Advancement in technology is a race in its own. With this in mind, we have brought you this course to understand navigation technology from the old age basic inventions to the proposed projects of future era. I'm glad to welcome you all on this platform. The certification course which we are going to begin now is Advances in Navigation System. Before introducing our valuable resource person, I would like to give a brief outline of this course. Along with today's session, we will be having 3 more sessions to complete. In order to get a course completion certificate, you need to qualify all the assessments. Today's session is Introduction to Global Navigation System. In this session, you will be able to understand the basic concepts of navigation technology along with the current and conventional systems. And in future we will have a few more sessions. Totally 4 sessions we will be having, and you have to qualify all the assessments in order to get the certificate. And the assessment link will be provided in description as well as in comment box. Now I would like to request our valuable resource person to elaborate the topic further. Before I need to give a brief introduction of her. She is a faculty of aerospace engineering in Alliance University, Bangalore, Miss Vijayalakshmi Bharati K. She was nominated as member of prestigious Confederation of Elite Academicians of IICDC by Texas Instruments, DST, AICTE and IIMB. And she also has been the All India topper of course Global Navigation Satellite System and application conducted by NPTEL IIT. She has published research papers in various international journals and have achieved a good role of responsibility among the students and facilitating good knowledge to them. I request Ms. Bharti to facilitate our learners as well. Please ma'am, you can proceed.
In today's session, we'll discuss about Introduction to Global Navigation Systems. What do you mean by Global Navigation System or Global Navigation Satellite System, which is famously known as GNSS? It is a worldwide position and time determination system that includes one or more satellite constellations, aircraft receivers, and system integrity monitoring, augmented as necessary to support the required navigation performance for the intended operation. Initially, it started with the launch of GPS, that is Global Positioning System, in the year 1973 by the Department of Defense of United States of America. Early applications of GNSS were developed for military and later in the fields of surveying and mapping. But nowadays, operators of airplanes, trains, automobiles can identify their position and heading quickly and accurately with the help of GNSS. Travelers can use handheld GNSS devices such as smartphones, tablets, etc. to calculate and display their position within few meters. For example, if you want to travel from one place to another place, you will be relying upon Google Maps, right? But how this Google Map works? With the help of GNSS or any regional navigation system. Farmers can automatically guide their farm machinery for more efficient ploughing, seeding, fertilizing and harvesting purpose. It's not only about navigating from one place to another place. Farmers can efficiently make use of GNSS for different applications such as seeding, fertilizing, while spraying the fertilizers in the field or during harvesting. Now applications are pushing the requirement of GNSS technology further than even before. In some cases, it is necessary to augment GNSS technology with other systems to meet the performance requirement of a particular application. For example, if you consider an autopilot system, what happens with autopilot system? Usually it is implemented in the cruise phase. But if you integrate GNSS or GPS with autopilot system, you can execute entire flight plan with the help of GNSS. Each GNSS constitute of a group of satellites or constellation of satellites. What is the function of these satellites? They broadcast signals. Then these signals are processed by GNSS receivers to determine location, speed and time for users anywhere within the range of satellites. This is normally on or just above the Earth's surface, but it can also be in space as well. There are significant number of developments in the availability of new navigation systems. Example, GPS, Galileo, GLONASS, Baidu, IRNSS, Quiz. In this picture, we can see different types of global navigation systems as well as regional navigation systems. There is a thin line difference between global navigation and regional navigation system. For example, if you consider our IRNSS, that is Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System, it can be used when you are in India, or maybe it can be used within the neighboring countries. But it is not same with the GPS, because GPS is a global system. Even if you are in US or in India or in Russia, you can make use of GPS. In this particular slide, we can see the different systems. Those are Baidu, GPS, IRNS, GLONASS, Quiz and Galileo. We'll discuss about all these systems. Okay, let us start with history of satellite navigation. The original concept was developed around 1960. Preliminary system, that means the GPS, came into operation around 1964. And full-scale GPS development began in 1973. Earlier it was named as Navstar, but the name is changed to GPS. GPS stands for Global Navigation Satellite System. GPS initial operational capability in December 1993, and in April 1995 it was given for civilian use. Why GNSS? Why we have to use global navigation satellite systems to navigate? Because there are several reasons. One is weather independent system. Irrespective of the weather conditions, you can rely on GNSS data for its accuracy. It does not require line of sight communication. It gives high geodetic accuracy. It can be operated in day as well as in night. Quicker and requires less manpower, because we are not using any manpower here. It is very less manpower is utilized to get the data. Then common coordinate systems, wide range of applications. Already we have discussed about the applications of GNSS. It can be used to navigate from one place to another place. It can be used by farmers or the operators of automobiles and airplanes. So because of its wide range of applications, one can rely on GNSS. Economical advantage. In this picture, we can see different segments of GPS, that is space segment, ground segment and control segment. The first segment is called as space segment. It is related with the number of satellites and the satellite orbital parameters. Then control segment is the second segment, in which we will be discussing about master control station, ground control stations. Third segment is user segment. User segment is nothing but the handheld devices with GPS receivers. Okay, let us start with the first global navigation system, that is GPS. GPS stands for Global Positioning System. The original concept was developed around 1960 in the wake of Sputnik and Explorer. The full-scale GPS was developed development began in 1973 and the first 4 satellites were launched in 1978. Out of 31 satellites, the first 4 satellites were launched in 1978. Initially GPS was given for, it was designed for military applications, later it was given for civilian use. Okay, what is GPS? GPS is a global radio navigation system formed from a constellation of 24 satellites and their ground stations. Yes, initially it was designed for 24 satellites, later it was extended for 33 satellites. Currently there are 31 active satellites in the space. GPS uses man-made stars. Here man-made stars is referred to satellites. GPS uses man-made stars as reference points to calculate position, accuracy to matter of meters. In fact, with advanced form of GPS, you can make measurements to better than a centimeter. So look at the accuracy of GPS. In essence, it's like giving every square meter on the planet a unique address. GPS receivers have been miniaturized to just a few integrated circuits and so are becoming very economical, and that makes the technology accessible virtually to everyone. These days, GPS is finding its way into cars, boats, airplanes, construction equipment, movie making gear, farm machinery, even laptop computers, smart mobiles, etc. So everywhere you can find GPS receiver installed in the gadgets. Soon GPS will become almost as basic as telephone. The second global navigation system is GLONASS. GLONASS stands for Global Navigation Satellite System. It is developed by Russia, and the name GLONASS in Russian language, Globalnaya. Its English equivalent is Global Navigation Satellite System. GLONASS was developed by Soviet Union as military communication system during 1970s. When the Cold War ended, the Soviet Union recognized GLONASS and it can be used for commercial applications. The first satellites of its constellation was developed in 1983 and system declared fully operational in 1995. So it took almost 12 years to develop fully operational GLONASS system. GLONASS went through a period of performance decline as defined in GLONASS Interface Control document released by Coordination Scientific Information Center. The purpose of GLONASS was to provide an unlimited number of air, marine and any other type of users with all weather, 3-dimensional positioning, velocity, timing anywhere in the world or near Earth space on a continuous basis. So initially it was designed for air navigation, marine navigation and surface navigation. The GLONASS space segment consists of 24 operational satellites distributed over 3 orbital planes. When we are talking about more number of satellites, they cannot be placed in single orbit. They have to be placed in such a way that they should be properly placed by considering their eccentricity, semi-major axis and all other orbital parameters. And we have to consider the area coverage by each satellite. The longitudinal ascending node differs by 120 degrees from one plane to another plane. There are 8 satellites per plane. So out of these 24 satellites, they are placed in 3 orbital planes. So each plane will be consist of 8 satellites and they are separated by 45 degree argument of latitude. Each satellite is identified by its slot number which defines the orbital plane and its location within the space. So each satellite will be given a name. The GLONASS constellation provides visibility to variable number of satellites depending on your location. So depending where you are currently located, are you in Bangalore, are you in Chennai, are you in Russia, it depends on your location. You will get the visibility of number of satellites. The GLONASS space segment consists of 24 satellites in 3 orbital planes. The constellation geometry repeats about once in every 8 days. What is the altitude of these satellites? They are placed above the Earth's surface at about 20,000 kilometers. The next system is Beidou Navigation System. It is also known as BDS. It is developed by China. Originally, it was a regional navigation satellite system with 14 satellites, and later it expanded to provide global coverage. So initially it was designed as a regional navigation system. Later it is converted to global navigation system by increasing the number of satellites. The global space system segment consists of 5 geostationary Earth orbit satellites, 3 inclined geosynchronous orbit satellites, and 27 medium Earth orbit satellites. So now we came across words geostationary and geosynchronous. There is a difference between geostationary satellites and geosynchronous satellites. Geostationary means a satellite orbit along the equator, thus results in a constant fixed position over a particular reference point on the Earth's surface. So if you are in Bangalore and if you are watching a particular satellite, sometimes the position of the satellites varies. But if you are observing the particular satellite from the equator and if it is placed in geostationary orbit, irrespective of the time of the day, you can observe the same satellite. Then geosynchronous, a satellite orbit with an orbital period matching with Earth sidereal rotation period is called geosynchronous orbit. Beidou, also known as Beidou 2, is a project by China to develop an independent global satellite navigation system. Beidou system is not an extension to previously deployed Beidou 1, but it is a new GNSS similar to the principle of GPS and Galileo. Beidou Navigational Satellite System is Chinese satellite navigation system. It consists of 2 separate satellite constellations. As we discussed, one constellation is related to geosynchronous, other is geostationary. The second generation of a system, also known as COMPASS or Beidou 2, became operational in China in December 2011 with a partial constellation of 10 satellites in orbit. Since 2012, it has been offering services to customers in Asia-Pacific region. Expected to provide global navigation service by 2020, similar to GPS, GLONASS and Galileo. Now look at this particular slide. The red color indicates equatorial orbit. Orbital planes, we have total 6 number of orbital planes. Total number of satellites for Beidou system is 35. Currently there are 22 satellites in orbit. The next satellite system or the next global navigation system is IRNSS. It is developed by our country India. IRNSS stands for Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System. It is also called as NAVIC, which means sailor or navigator in Sanskrit, as well as in Hindi and many other Indian languages. So the NAVIC stands for Navigation with Indian Constellation. It is an autonomous regional satellite navigation system. What do you mean by autonomous? It is fully developed by India for the purpose of navigation within the India. IRNSS will be an independent and autonomous regional navigation system aiming a service area of about 1500 kilometers around India. It is being developed by Indian Space Research Organization, which would be under total control of Indian government. The requirement of such a navigation system is driven by the fact that access to global navigation satellite system is not guaranteed in hostile situations, maybe during wars or during any clashes or calamities. We may not depend on the GPS for accuracy. So India has developed its own navigational system to get better accuracy, that is IRNSS. What is the need for indigenous positioning system for a country like India? During Kargil war in 1999, when Pakistan troops took the position in high mountains, one of the first thing Indian military was trying to get their hands on was GPS data of that particular region. GPS could have provided vital information, but United States denied access to India during Kargil war. The experience at Kargil made the nation to realize the importance of indigenous navigation system, and hence the idea of IRNSS began to take shape. With the help of IRNSS, India will become self-reliant to keep a close watch on its boundaries. See, it is simple, right? When we have our own navigational system, we can keep watch on the boundaries as well, or the neighboring countries. The system NAVIC or IRNSS constellation consists of 7 satellites, whereas out of 7, 3 satellites are in geostationary orbit, 4 satellites are in geosynchronous orbit with the required inclination and equatorial crossings in 2 different planes. All the satellites numbering from IRNSS 1A to 1G of the constellations are configured identically. All these satellites are identical with each other. You can observe the architecture of IRNSS. These are the ground stations and master control stations as well as receivers. Now you can see the number of satellites. Correct. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are total 7 satellites for IRNSS. IRNSS constellation is a combination of GSO and IGSO. GSO stands for geosynchronous orbit. IGSO stands for inclined geosynchronous orbit. In this particular slide, we can see all the global positioning systems. GPS, the country of origin is US, number of satellites is 31. Coverage means global coverage. We can cover the entire globe. The first launch means the first satellite which belongs to GPS was launched in 1978. Lifetime of each satellite is around 10 years. And precision is given as 5 meters. Similarly with Russia, this is like summary. GLONASS is developed by Russia, number of satellites is 24. Then Galileo is developed by European Union, the number of satellites is 40. In the same way, the explanation is given for BeiDou and IRNSS. Now look at the IRNSS part. The precision level, 20 meters precision for civilians, whereas 10 meter accuracy for military. Okay. IRNSS or NAVIC will provide accurate and real-time positioning and timing service. It will cover India and a region extending 1500 kilometers around India. The system at present consists of a constellation of 7 satellites with 2 additional satellites on ground as standby. So we have 2 standby satellites. What are the applications of IRNSS? It is used for terrestrial, aerial and marine navigation. So it can be used for all 3 modes of transportation. Disaster management. During disaster management we can rely on IRNSS. Vehicle tracking and fleet management, integration with mobile phones, precise timing, mapping, geodetic data capture, terrestrial navigation aid for hikers as well as for travelers, visual and voice navigation for drivers. The last point, visual and voice navigation for drivers, can almost everyone might have experienced this. When you switch on Google Maps, you will get the voice right, turn right after 300 meters. So voice command is also included. The next system is Galileo. It is developed by European Union as global navigation satellite system, providing highly accurate guaranteed GPS under civilian control. It is interoperable with GPS as well as with GLONASS. The Galileo system started its initial services to public authorities on December 15, 2016. So this is a recent system. Galileo receivers compute their position in Galileo reference system using satellite technology, and it is also based on triangulation principle. The next system is QUES. QUES stands for Quasi-Zenith Satellite System. It is nicknamed after Michibike. It means to guide, to show the way. It is developed by Japanese or Japan. It is a regional navigation satellite system commissioned by Japan government in 2002 as a National Space Development Program. It is At the beginning, the system was developed by the Advanced Space Business Corporation team. Later in 2007, the work was taken over by Government Organization of Japan, that is JAXA. In this particular slide, you can see the area coverage of the QUAS system. The QUAS service area covers East Asia and Ocean region, and its platform is multi-constellation GNSS. The QUAS system is not required to work in a standalone mode, but together with data from GNSS satellites. It cannot work in a standalone mode. It needs support from other global systems. Now in the last slide, all the global navigation systems are listed down with different parameters such as the country of origin, coverage, orbital altitude of each satellite, period, that is the time period for the revolution, number of satellites, frequency, status and precision. Okay. Now you can see the NAVIC. NAVIC is IRNSS. It is a regional system and all the 7 satellites are identical to each other, so you can observe the period. It is same for all the satellites. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for this great explanation, and I would like to thank our participants also for being with us, and see you soon in next session. Till then, stay safe, stay connected and keep learning. Thank you very much, Team 2020.